Well. Good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon to whichever part of the world you're now joining us from. This is Dr. Matthews-Bey coming to you live from, hold on, coming to you live from Guyana to the Americas and around the world. This is Dr. Matthews-Bey on the Dr. Matthews-Bey live show, Voice of the Nation, and also the GMS Live online radio Guyana coming to you out of Guyana. Good evening to all. Islam to you who those are looking, my Moorish brothers and sisters, Islam to you. And as I will say, it's a continue enforcing the Constitution. This is episode 12. Join the conversation tonight. Tonight is your night. Members of the public, you can call in. You can use the number beneath your screen. Call in and let's have this conversation. Just to say, I want to keep it very short and simple. Give you the opportunity to call in again and let's have this conversation on being prepared. So, by no further ado, let me help you to comprehend that this show is brought to you by the Compliments of Black Love. It is a design that is created to stand up against oppression, tyranny, racism, slavery, and everything that derails the life and the history of the Aboriginal man. Black love is to stand against all that evil, that I may call it, that today's world and society of people are trying to infringe upon the lives of the Aboriginal man, the original man, as a matter of fact. Black love comes to you with that compliment of supporting continuously this show. So, welcome to you all. Share the live. As you now come in, share the live. Remember, I just posted a video. You will see that video where a father is teaching his daughter to handle a pistol and to be careful in the things that she do whilst handling it. Join the conversation tonight. The conversation is having your child being prepared for events that may be catastrophic. Teaching them, edifying them, and helping them to see the truth, not to continue the lie. So, I will take some of your comments off the show and I will talk about it. Right? Good night to you, my dear mother, and I would like to call her my mother, Miss Day. I know who you know who you are. She's very kind to me in certain ways. So she's on the air and I want to send out gratitude to her, respect, gratitude, and honor her. We need to honor our females, our wives, our sisters, our mothers, because at the end of the day, they are the ones that have brought us through all these different things in life. Whether we grew up with them as mothers and sisters, whether we be their partners as husbands, they do deserve the honor and respect. So, by no further ado, let's get into the conversation. It is enforcing the Constitution tonight again, but the topic is being prepared. How can you teach your child to be prepared? As again I say before I started just now, there is a video that I posted with a father teaching his child, a little young lady, how to handle a pistol and to fire it, to check the magazine, and to move the slide to the rear. Hold on, hold on. I think I got one of the most. I think that person lost that call. Okay, let me try to see if I can call it back. Tonight is your night. It's a call-in night. Uh, Let me see. Just hold a minute. This is Dr. Matthews-Bey on the Dr. Matthews-Bey show. I'm trying to call back the number. I don't know if it was intentionally called or if you had some interest.
Sorry, sorry, no, it wasn't intentionally.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, bye-bye. Yes. So let the conversation continue. Uh-huh. Well, the thing is that while speaking on the show, you realize that certain political things that I'm not talking about, but to those who want to express themselves, like my dear friend Amazi, you want to talk about, hold on. You want to talk about the GCOM chair being compromised. Well, politics is politics. Anything that deals with politics is compromised because politics in itself is compromised. Okay? So, to those who are looking, I know that you want to talk on it. You can call in. You can have your conversation. I'm not stopping you. Tonight is Friday night and it's a calling night where the program gives you the right to call in and to vent your feelings about what you think is going on. For me, I just wanted to set a standard where I want to talk about being prepared. And if that position is being prepared, well, then it's being prepared. What you need to understand to those who are looking is that nothing would not happen unless the people decide to stand up and do something about it. That's plain and simple. If you want the GCOM chair moves, and Norton said the GCOM chair must be moved in order for any elections to go on, that's simple. But if the people sits down and just decide to say, well, okay, let me see when she's going to move. Well, she ain't gonna move because the people is not acting. It's only one man is saying. Where the Constitution is, I'm talking about the Constitution, the Corporation of Guyana, is for the people to move their subjects in order for certain things to happen. It is simple, right? So if the chicken chair not moving, well, then she's not moving. That's simple because we refuse to just get up and let her move. I spoke to one guy today, a Guyanese, as a matter of fact, and he explained to me, he said, look, when you do what I do, you got to make sure to have people to watch your back. So I said to him, whilst I was picking up my daughter, as a matter of fact, today, I said to him that So if nobody volunteers to look at my back or to assist me in that form, when would I move? When would I stand up to say or represent Guyanese? When would I represent myself? When would I represent my house, my neighborhood, my village, my community? When would I represent my people, which are Aboriginal, Indigenous Americans? When would I represent them? If nobody's getting up, do I wait until someone decides to move? What year would that be? This 2 years have already elapsed. No, sorry. Yes, 2 years would have already elapsed after the regional and general elections. 2 years. We're into the third year where the constitution of the Corporative Corps, or Republic, as a matter of fact, of the Corporation of Guyana was taken from its people violently. Can you imagine the Constitution was created for the Corporation of Guyana and its citizens, its subjects, so that they can abide by it. And elections came and was taken from them. Their will was not in no way respected. And what do Guyanese do? They sit and they do nothing. I don't really blame them, because they don't know how to do something. Their leaders would not teach them. They're now waiting on their leaders for another 5 years for their leaders to sprout their heads and to say, oh, now it's time to hit them where it hurts. I mean, come on, are you serious? You have 5 years that you've just given up to a de facto, hold on, wait, well, the regime is de facto anyhow. Any regime that governs the Corporation of Guyana, it is de facto, because the Corporation of Guyana is de facto since 1960. It is de facto anyhow. As a matter of fact, it was de facto long before then, but the United Nations General Assembly, the United Nations proclamation on countries that were governed and ruled under the British colonial system has dismantled everything under the British colonial system. The laws, the corporation, Guyana was one of them since 1960. And that article would have been Article 15, Sections 14, 15, 14. And to those who would want to look up it, that's the information that's there. So, I'm just informing you. But let me get back to the real thing, right? Your constitution being violated. They put the people in place to violate even more. Then they ask the courts to govern over it. Then the courts does not produce lawful results. They produce justified results based upon their thoughts, which are the subjects of the courts. So you cannot be annoyed, because the courts could only adjudicate on acts, codes, conducts, and statutes. So whether or not you're annoyed because that has happened, that's their leverage. They have that leverage. They have that right. The Constitution of Guyana is a democracy. And a democracy was designed to take away your rights. That's what the democracy is about. I mean, I'm not Guyanese anymore. I'm very much happy about that. But your democracy has been trampled upon. I mean, I don't know if you like it, but that's the fact. And I like the facts. I like the etymologies of the facts. It's good. So you can have some form of edification, some form of strength, because the facts are the facts. Whether we like it or not, if the PNC or the APNU AFC goes into power, they're being governed by a democracy, a shadow government, to instill upon the people the rights of the nobles. Who are the nobles? England, the USA, Europe. You name all the first world countries that you can talk about. Those are the nobles. They control the world. You can name Russia if you want, but they control the world. Those are the nobles. And what are their principles? The principles of the nobles of the world is democracy, which is the world order. So you have to live by it. I'm just teaching the truth. Democracy brings about capitalism, socialism, authoritarian dictatorship. That's democracy. To help you to comprehend the more dangerous form of democracy, look at South Africa. That was an apartheid state for how many decades? An apartheid or apartheid is a form of democracy. They're exercising that form of democracy in the Corporation of Guyana. Everybody knows that the PPP is an apartheid regime. They can only exercise terror, mayhem, dictatorship, and authoritarianism through its rule. They rule it doesn't matter when they come in or after, but they could only rule with an iron fist because that's what they know. That is democracy in its full version, well practiced. Sorry to say that, but that is the fact. It is who would practice democracy in which best infant stage. But there's no infant stage, it is your stage that needs to be well practiced as a democratic nation. But sorry, democracy is a shadow government to everything that is illegitimate, even to the practice of rulership upon a corporation of citizens. That is why there's a difference for me and people who are Guyanese. Like, for instance, I'm trying to reach out to the legal system on that form, indicating to them, look, you are a corporate citizen. I am an American state citizen. There's a difference from you and I. You cannot adjudicate over me because acts, codes, conducts, and statutes does not imply itself on me. But because of reasonable comprehension, I stand tall as an American state citizen. When I mean American state citizen, don't think I'm talking about the USA. I am talking about where we are right now, the Southwest Amexium, which is America, where I am, which the Corporation of Guyana is located. And the name of that spot was Atlantis. So if you comprehend what I'm talking about, you'll get to fully understand or fully comprehend, sorry. So the fact is that if the etymologies of the words does not participate in the illusion aspect of a democracy of Guyana, the Corporation of Guyana, well, then you wouldn't comprehend what they're doing to you. You will remain Guyana's subjects. It is sad to say that you will remain subjects of the Corporation of Guyana. It's not healthy to tell you that, but you will, because you are Guyanese. So anything that the political system does to you, it is only you who can solve those problems. Because your constitution, the Corporation of Guyana has a constitution, you call it the Guyana Constitution. It is where you are governed by. So you need to comprehend, or you need to follow the teachings of the Constitution to comprehend where you are. And how does it administer to you, the individual, a citizen of the Corporation of Guyana? These are the facts. You can only remove yourself from this if you comprehend where you are and where you need to be. I can only teach you. I can't take you to the well to drink of the water thereof. You need to stop wanting to be spoon-fed as a people and start getting up and looking for your meals. The first thing, search for the spoon that is going to feed you, which is the instrument. Then go to search for the meal. Well, I mean, not literally the rice and stew. I mean the edification process that declares the body healthy. Then you'll get to comprehend the whole system that you live by as a sham. I said to someone a couple of years ago, roughly about 3 years ago, I said to them, I said, what if you wake up one morning and realize that the life you're living, everything you're being taught is a total lie? That person said, well, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to handle that. I met that person again and I asked them the question. And that person said, well, it tells me what you're doing, that you're handling it. But how many persons want to handle it? I'm saying, well, a lot of persons want to be liberated, but are they really ready to be liberated? For Dr. Matthews-Bey, I just don't only talk the talk, I walk the walk that I talk about. I sat here and I talked about proclaiming my indigenous rights. I did it. I sat here and I talked about protesting against an undemocratic state. I did it. I can remember protesting in front of the Square of Revolution days in and days out. And I was arrested. I was kidnapped. And I was arrested again. All three of these things under the People's Progressive Party, People's Progressive Terrorist Party regime. I was arrested, I was kidnapped, and I was arrested again. I walked the walk, and I'm still walking it. And I'm still continuing to talk the talk, but we need each other. Hold on, let me see what's going on here. Oh, okay. They're out in full force tonight. Full force tonight. That's beautiful. What name? They got some fancy name. What your name? Desmond who? Oh, Danesi Prasad. All right, doesn't matter. The mere fact is that my show is piercing the hearts of those who hate me. You know, it's piercing your heart. And I know that. I know that I'm hitting the hammer on the nail. Not only telling you that you're not indigenous, it's to tell you that you have a date of entry to. All of you. The Corporation of Guyana is made up of 6 ethnic groups. And all those ethnic groups, except for those who are Aboriginal, were brought to the shores of Amexium, where the Corporation of Guyana sits. They were brought to these shores of Atlantis Amexium, or Atlantis America. They were brought here, where the Corporation of Guyana sits. So that tells me that they have a date of entry. Now they have a date of expiry. Expiration date. That means you could be deported at any time. I told you guys a couple of nights ago, I said there's a lot coming. There is. There is a lot that is coming. It's not a storm. It's the goodness that comes with that storm. So we are going to exercise the rights of the treaty. We are. To those Moors who know what I'm talking about. To those Aboriginals who knows, well, who doesn't know much, but I comprehend your lack of knowledge thereof. That is why this process of what I do on these shows, an edification process, is to teach you exactly what you need to know. What no one is wanting to tell you, I will tell you here. What your lawyer is not going to tell you, I will tell you here. What the de facto courts are not going to tell you, I'm going to tell you here. Because all the courts in the Corporation of Guyana are so disbanded such a long time ago. They're Article 4 courts that has no jurisdiction. And I use the word jurisdiction. They have lost that long before 1960. As a matter of fact, every court that takes its place in the Corporation of Guyana, whether it be Magistrates Court or the High Court or the Appellate Court or the Caribbean Court of Justice, they're all a de facto court system. It is a fact. So sorry to say that. The declaration by the United Nations in 1960, Article 1514, tells you that all colonial powers under the British system is hereby disbanded. It's no use. Who then have the powers over the system? The Aboriginal people who are indigenous to the land. So, I can't help it but to edify you. I just cannot help it. I cannot sit here and to pretend that everything is well with you or with me. I cannot. People are saying, well, you know, you can't benefit. What are you benefiting from? Slavery? Because that's what you're benefiting from is slavery. Because people can, you can imagine you can enjoy a few months of freedom, and suddenly de facto administration will bring up, will create an act to make you uncomfortable, take away your rights. That's how they survive. Trade upon trade upon your certified, how should I put it over? I want to make sure that I'm correct in what I'm saying. Okay, they're trading upon your certified delusional aspects. The more delusional you be, it is the better for them. They make money because you don't have a sense of direction. So they educate you, right? To be delusional. That's the first step. So they do it from the child or the womb, from the mother. And when the child is born, your delusional aspect is more heightened. And how they do that, they make sure there's a television that you can put the person in front, which is the infant. So he or she can be more delusionally educated. That's the television. And then we move on from that. The food in which you eat, it is to reduce your level of sensibility and responsibility. So to become independent here, I don't care what anybody says. As long as you're living under the corporate system, you're not independent. You're not free. There's no freedom under the corporate system. So the food that you eat increases your delusional status. Better yet, they make more money off of you because they trade off of your delusional aspects or your delusional self-being. Then when then they finish there, the medication process is to make sure that you stay delusional. If you kind of rise, you check anybody who wants to rise above the delusional manner in which you live under the medicative point of view of this corporation and corporations worldwide, like the World Health Organization. You suddenly develop a brain cancer, a tumor, because your body was not designed to go beyond the 33rd degree, which they call you a subhuman. Look how far they reduced you from 360 degrees, which is a complete circle, number 7. They move you from that to 33 degree. Oh my gosh. Look at the level of education. You become an animal now because you're not fit to be seen as a human being anymore. You're already dead as a human being. You're not a living soul because you've been owned by a corporation. When you stand up and you say, yes, I'm Guyanese, it's because Guyana owns you. Guyana is a corporation. So just hold. Yes, back to what I was saying. Sorry for the break in there. I I would be very much happy if some persons or some living souls like myself would have tried to comprehend the situation in which they live in presently. Presently. I was talking about fiat currency the other day, which is the dollar that most of us work for. We have a job, which is to go and be oppressed, because that's what the etymology of the word job, which is a Hebrew word, means. It means to go and be oppressed. That word J-O-B, that's what it means. To be oppressed, or to go and be oppressed. Imagine you waking up every morning to go apply yourself to be oppressed, and to receive the lashes of the whip for being oppressed, which you call as a fiat currency. Oh my gosh. I would say the currency replaced the whip, the taskmaster's whip across your back, to keep you in check and in line, because they now own you. So there's no one person with a plantation of slaves. They're a corporation of slaves, or a corporation of bound people. Greetings to those who are now joining on this, the Gavin Matthews-Bey show, Voice of a Nation, or Voice of the Nation, of Aboriginal peoples, or Aboriginal living souls. Welcome to you who are now joining. It is Enforce the Constitution, episode 12. The conversation is really being prepared, because if you look out there, I posted a video with a father teaching his daughter how to handle a pistol. And I'm sure she looks about what, 5, 6. She looks very small. Okay? But I'm saying to you now, to those who are looking, that we have to be prepared. We have to be prepared right now, because the colonial system is falling apart. There is a push for a new world order. Identify yourself, brothers and sisters. Know who you are, because when a new world order is formed, it will be chaos. To make sure that you fall under that new world order, if you do not comprehend, or if you are ignorant of the fact, you will remain a slave. So that new world order is to keep you intact. You have to be edified upon the differences of what is going on. One, store up your food in your house, and I said ground provision. Start farming your lands. The pieces of lands that you have, start doing that. Start farming some vegetation or legumes or meat or whatever you want to call it. Start doing some ground provision, because it's better for you. That's your survival. Yes, the potato, the sweet potato, the yams, the cassava, everything that is grown beneath the earth. Start farming, because that will keep you in that survival rate. Store up dry food. I'm not a fond person of rice. Reduce the level of intake of meat, chicken, and beef. Because believe you me, when the crisis hit, there ain't gonna be no chicken and beef. You're already seeing the kind of chicken that's coming. The bloated chicken with chemicals. By the time it is delivered, it's already spoiled. By the time you put it into your pot, it messes and it tampers with your DNA. You call it chemical chicken. It's rampant now. It's all over the place. Be prepared. Teach your children the truth. Don't send them and leave them in the prison system for the prison system to teach them the truth. The prison system is not going to teach them the truth. The prison system is going to teach them to remain a prisoner. That's the fact. Sorry to say that, but that's the fact. Yes, and the prison system is the school, because the school determines upon the education of the child where he or she will end up as an adult. Yes, 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 yes. Especially those who are living in the comprehension of what you call the ghetto. There is the ghetto education. Yes. Those who are living in the comprehension of blue-collar society, there's a blue-collar education. Those who are living in the white-collar society, there's a white-collar education. Yes. Hold on. Oh, well, yes, Miss Rogers. The prison system is a business. And the more you involve yourself in the business, you involve yourself in imprisoning your own brothers and sisters. But you may call it a prison. You may call it a business. Yes. You have to imprison your brothers and sisters in order to become a millionaire or a billionaire. Yes. Sorry, yes, I'm very much happy that you hit the hammer on the nail. The prison system is a business. And the corporation is that. If you check it, the mother countries is Great Britain. The nobles are Great Britain. That's one of them. Hold on. Let me see if I can call back that number. When you're calling, please do not call via video. Thank you.
Good night, Mr. Matthews. I was just trying to set you up on WhatsApp. That going forward, I can send you some contributions. I'm in Queens.
Okay. Well, you're live on the show, so I thought you were one of those.
On Facebook.
Okay, you're live on the show, so I'm letting you know that now. I thought you were calling in to make some, verbal contributions.
No. I'm not making any thing. I just want to
Okay.
support the program.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Well, then maybe I'll send you a thumbs up after the show. Okay?
All right, sir.
Yes, very good. Thank you very much.
Good.
So that's a prospective person who's willing to make sure that the Dr. Matthews-Bey show has been strengthened by their. Yes, beautiful. I just can't understand. Here, to those who are looking, I really need your technological help. Tech help. Because I am trying to, I know this is a breach of my social website, this Abu, but I'm trying to block this person. And it just keeps popping up in the comment section. I just don't know what else to do. I'll be honest with you. I'm not one of the best persons in IT, information technology. And I am trying my best to block this person, but I just don't know how they keep coming through. I don't know if it's a software system that they would have created to breach my my broadcasts, but I am trying my best. I don't know. By the way, I just block him again. Let me see how it's going to work. Let's go back to the topic. The system is never was is it cannot articulate itself to give you absolute freedom. As a matter of fact, in everything that you do, you have to pay for. That's a more heightened position of enslavement. You know, slaves those days you work without being paid and all these things. Now there's a paying system, but it takes back what it gives to you. You know how it looks. You work all month or all week. When you go to draw your ashes, they take back a percentage from you. And in everything that you do, you cannot afford to save those ashes because ashes means money. Yes. It's like you're working for nothing. You ever check it? To those who are struggling so hard on a daily basis, it's like they are working for absolutely nothing. And they're frustrated by it. There are lots of persons who are very frustrated. And they're trying to bring themselves around to comprehend what is the next step. How should I survive the next day? It is because you're in a system that does not want you to look beyond your level of education. They don't want you to look beyond that. They want you to keep within that level. They want to stagnate you. So that's why they have you living in this belief system that someday a knight on a shining armor, white as snow, will return to the earth on a chariot with horses to rescue you. Oh, what a delusional aspect of life. This real delusion. I got someone said to me, you know, you sounding like you're crazy well here. You imagine I'm physical in front of you that you can see. And you have someone telling you a story. Telling you a story of, how should I put it over? Someone telling you a story of a character that was created that no one knows but via a story. No one saw but via a story. That oh my gosh. A very pleasant evening to you. Thank you for calling Dr. Matthews-Bey show. How may I help you? Good evening to you.
Just one thing from me. Let me get a perspective from your point of view.
Okay, I'm listening. All ears.
What do you think about the CUI that the president is going to initiate about the election in there? What's your take on it? I would like your perspective of what's going on. What you think about it?
The COI that the de facto.
Okay, good. I'm gonna hang and I'm gonna listen to you. Okay?
Okay, good. No problem.
Good.
No problem. The person wants to know about the COI that the de facto domicile CEO is trying to initiate. That's Mr. Air Fraud Ali, that he wants to initiate. Now, let me help you to comprehend what's going on. The Constitution of the Corporation of Guyana says the only institution can commission a COI, Commission of Inquiries, is the Elections Court. That hasn't fulfilled itself. So the de facto domicile CEO has no authority by law to commission a COI. He has no authority by the laws of the Corporation of Guyana. The domicile de facto CEO, the corporate executive officer, the CEO of Guyana, has no authority by law, or has no authority according to the Constitution of the Corporation of Guyana, has no authority to commission a COI. The only body with such an authority is the courts of the Corporation of Guyana. It is simple. So that what he's doing there is illegal. And by the way, he is illegal anyhow. So everything that he does is illegal. Because no courts will challenge him because of the democratic state in which they govern by. So that COI position that he wants to adopt, it is illegal. Anyhow, it has no bearings. No one after that COI can be charged. There's no recommendation. He cannot recommend the courts to charge it, because the courts will have to summon an investigation. As of now, here was the best thing to do. The same de facto CEO, instead of commissioning a COI by taxpayers' money, let him make sure that the same speedy recovery is being done in the courts, so you can have an adjudication on elections petition 99 and 88. They're trying to work their way around to show the world that they are legitimate, but they're not. They're not. They will never be legitimate. They are illegitimate. They are a domiciled administration. They are a de facto administration. They were never duly elected. It is simple. You have a body which is the Guyana Elections Commission. You have a chairperson, and there are laws that guide the chairperson. Then you have a chief elections officer, and there are laws that guide the chief elections officer. You want a COI into it? It is simple. The magistrate court said, the high court said to the returning officer, who was then Clement Mingo, that I want you all to hear the COI into that, the Commission of Inquiries. You don't gotta wait long for it. We're talking directly. The magistrate said to Clement Mingo, look, big man, I thrown out all this nonsense to bring before me. I want you to do one thing. I'm saying to you, the man in which you declared your district, which is district number 4, because apparently like these hard-head, numbskull, cracknut people, I don't know what's going on with them. Maybe they have almond nuts in their head. The judge said, go back and declare your district. You and only you can do it because you're not hospitalized. So you cannot put somebody to declare your district. You can't put the deputy under you. You have to go and do it. The deputy who is there will only do it if you have encountered some physical disability to declare your district, which is region number 4 or district number 4 in the regional general elections. You have declared it. The then legal person for the domicile opposition then, Mr. Nandalal, who had brought the case before the justice, has retracted it. He said he realized he was wasting the court's time. Same part of commission inquiry. He was wasting the court's time. It's legal document. It's there. The judge said to him, okay, well, you need to pay Mr. Mingo, the chairperson of the Ghana Elections Commission, and I think the other person is and Mr. Lowenfield, $150,000 each for wasting the court's time. Then you had to pay the court. Still part of the commission inquiries, tag 1 and tell 1 that Dr. Matthews-Bey is explaining the commission of inquiries before it is brought to the illegality of an illusion of Dr. A. Fraud Ali, because he likes to be called doctor. Right? So we cover that part. That's 1 and 2. The third section of the Commission of Inquiries is that Mr. Keith Lowenfield took the declaration and declared, according to law, declared the APNU AFC the winners of the regional general elections. He did that. It was in his rights, elected and duly rights. He submitted that to the chairperson of the Guyana Elections Commission. So we move from 1, 2, we're in 3. The third process of the COI of Dr. Matthews-Bey, according to the Corporation of Guyana. The laws that governs the constitution that governs the Corporation of Guyana. So you took that COI, that's that COI now that you want to talk about. I'm talking about it now. So you took that declaration, went to the chairperson now sat among the commissioners that she's asked to govern, the 6 commissioners, and deliberate on the declaration. She cannot change it. The law says so. She cannot adjudicate on that declaration. What she does is to follow the declaration given from the chief elections officer. That is her position according to law. So that's the third way we done away with, right? Here the other mischievous part now. Everybody making noise. So what she did, she sat with both the opposition and the present president or the present CEO of the domicile corporation of Guyana, of the Corporation of Guyana. She sat with them and she deliberated with them, and somehow the delusion popped into her head. I found the loophole. We can have a recount. And a document was drafted. I'm talking about the 4th stage of the COI tonight. That document was challenged in court. Y'all hear me? That document went all the way to the Caribbean Court of Justice, when the same Mr. Saunders said to both parties, And the Guyana Elections Commission, look, Order 60 is a complete and different electoral regime. It is a written adjudication. It is there. You cannot use that, because what it does, it takes away, it defiles, it reduces the authority of the Representation of the People's Act. You have to wait until when the declaration is being given, and then you bring up what you now call an elections petition. So they didn't wait on that. The two generals, Granger and Jagdeo, signed on to it. They signed on to Order 60. That is illegal. That in itself is illegal, because the Constitution gives them no right and powers thereof. The Constitution only gives the who? The Parliament and the National Assembly. Just hold a minute for me, please. Thank you very much for calling the Dr. B show. Good night to you.
I wasn't expecting to be on the show, but
Okay.
thank you.
Well, hear what I am discussing. What a commenter asked me to comment about. The person called in, so I'm nearly wrapping that up. So can I call you back as soon as I wrap that up?
Sure.
Okay, good, no problem. So yes. So I was explaining. So they signed on to Order 60. Although the Caribbean Court of Justice is telling them, I'm talking about the Commission of, this is Gavin Matthews-Bey, COI. So Ali can't be confused. Maybe he was drinking some confusion soup day before yesterday, and he's delusional, because apparently everybody's delusional. Everybody has an emotional distress, so they are unfit to serve office. Everybody's living in a delusional state. He's talking some craziness. So when they finished that Order 60, it was now implemented. Although the Caribbean Court of Justice advised it was a separate electoral regime, you cannot add that to the Representation of the People's Act. But we failed to forget, or we failed to remember, that we are living in a democratic state. So these things that are now added to us is part of democracy. What you see Ali's doing there, that is democratic right to take away your rights and to do stupidness, and you have to sit down and accept it because you have a delusional president or a delusional CEO that is taking away your rights. It doesn't matter who's Jezebel. What matters is that your rights have been taken away from your political leaders, and it is happening again. So, number 4, we just finished. We're going to number 5 now. What happened after then? We had an external breach. We have foreign powers from another country demanding that the legitimate elected government resign its position and to give over powers to an illegitimate government. Can you imagine that? That is Commission of Inquiries number 5. So what happened? The legitimate government stepped down before anything else. He decided to step aside, and a declaration was given based upon the chairperson, not the CEO of Guyana Elections Commission, based upon the chairperson of commissioners of Guyana Elections Commission, not the CEO who is in charge of the election. This was done based upon the chairperson and the signatories by two individuals, the PPP and the APNU AFC leaders. They are a signatory to that document. Commission of Inquiries, number 5. Commission of Inquiries, section 5, as a matter of fact, because I just list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We go now to number 6. After that has happened, you had an illegal swearing in of a de facto administration who is at the helms of the corporate of Guyana illegally. The president is illegal and everybody that sits in his cabinet is illegal. They are a complete violation of the Representation of the People's Act and the Constitution of the Corporate Republic of Guyana. They are in complete violation. So now you have an illegal administrator sitting there. So the courts now cannot adjudicate. You always wonder why the courts can't adjudicate properly, because you got the Attorney General who wants the court to step aside from the Constitution and do their own thing. It's bare epiphany. It's bare according to my imagination. It's according to my own mind. That's what's happening. Nothing can be adjudicated. The police can't investigate no criminal matters properly, because it's president, it's head of state. It's illegal. He is an executive criminal. That is what the president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana is. He's an executive criminal. He was not elected to the position constitutionally, and he wants to call a commission of inquiry. Not only that, everything that followed after that is illegal. You check. Look at it. Look at the present acting commissioner of police rank. By rank, he's assistant commissioner of police. That is his rank, present rank right now. By rank, he is an assistant commissioner of police. He was given the responsibility of deputy commissioner administration. And because he holds that responsibility, he's now acting commissioner of police, because it's only a deputy commissioner of police can act. But you have a sitting deputy commissioner of police, apparently can't act. I don't know what's going on, really. So you check, the actions of the de facto administration will always be that of a breach of the Constitution, which is a criminal act. Commission of Inquiries, number 6. We're going to number 7 now. The High Courts of the Corporate Republic of Guyana said to the public that suddenly the chairperson of the Guyana Elections Commission has a wide range of powers of autonomy above the parliament, the lawmakers. That is what Roxanne George Wiltshire said in her adjudication, in kicking out 88, in kicking out 99. That's what she said. She said the chairperson of the Guyana Elections Commission have a wide range of autonomous powers. Suddenly, her powers is above the National Assembly, above Parliament. and you want to have a commission of inquiry? Are you that serious? When you have violated all the rights of your subjects, which are Guyanese, you want to have a commission of inquiry? Then, here was the most terrible part. You now sit in an office illegally. You are in the breach of the Constitution of the Corporate Republic of Guyana. You have an executive position, but nothing you do is lawful. Allow the courts to act. If you really want the courts to act, allow the courts to act according to the law that you are governed by. The same law, which you all don't like now, because you liked it first, because you wanted to represent you, but now you're in government, you don't want it to represent you. The same constitution, you want to put it aside. Then, act number 8 is that you took the original certificates, results of the Guyana Elections Commission and put it in a position that nobody knows where it is at present. So that's the problem we're having. And then no, I can't say we, and then its citizens, because I'm not, are sitting down crying for help. I don't know what else help do you guys need. Be honest with you. I don't know what else help do you guys need. Because the evidence is in front of you. You have lived through this evidence. You have heard the recount. The recount talked about boxes that was never even marked, never even being administered, with 17,000 plus votes that took away your electoral will that was added by the de facto administration, then the PPP. And you're going to tell me that you're still sitting down? Are you serious? Got to be crazy. I want to know sometimes if I'm speaking to some crazy people. Like the British would normally say, are you daft? Because I'm sometimes I'm confused. Sometimes I really am. Because all these things took place. You have a de facto executive officer who wants to commission an inquiry into the elections. Oh my God. Look, I think I will speak about this matter only tonight, and I don't think I want to speak about it after. I prefer you guys call in and vent your feelings on the electoral process, and that's it, and I say nothing about it. Be honest with you. It's just a waste of my time. I don't know what else you Guyanese are looking for. I don't know what else. If you're waiting for a miracle, it ain't gonna happen soon. The more you go down on your knees and bruise it to ask for a miracle, it ain't gonna come. Because if I am the almighty creator that you're praying to, realize that you're sitting down and ain't doing nothing, I want to pray to me to help, well, boy, I ain't coming. Better believe it, I ain't coming. You could pay how much tights you want. You could wear how much the fancy dress and pants and shirt and tie, and come and sit down into the house and say that's the house of God and pray all you want. And him moving, I ain't coming. Because you know why? You don't want help. You don't need it. You're comfortable. What I should advise you to do, anything that the de facto administration do, don't complain. Because if you don't want to move, why complain? Just sit down and accept it. I think that's a better form. Do not complain. Just accept the way it is. Realizing that is the way it is. It's sad to say that. Yes, I'm sorry. But that's the fact. Everything they do when you complain about it makes no sense because you don't move. What are you complaining for? You know, when governments move, governments resign, administration steps down when the people act. Not no one person, when the people act. You all fail to act well, usually. And you think Jack Deal can go anyway? You aren't acting. He's acting. And he knows you ain't gonna do nothing about it, so don't talk. His own people that voted for him doesn't even like him. Voted for the party, doesn't even like him. That's why they didn't went and vote the last election. That's how they lost the election. Now, it's more worse than then. The United States Embassy here had to cancel visas application section because you got 5,000 plus people gone out to this country and they come back on the 5 months visa that they went on the 5 months vacation that they went on. When the US stamped them in, 5 months, 6 months gone and they come back. All the oil and the nice money, but they're here. Them people ain't coming back. They don't even have I would like to see when they say, if they say an election is called and they win it. Oh my God. When they don't have a voting population, they don't even have a voting constituency. By the way, this is Dr. Matthews-Bey saying to you that you need to be prepared for what is yet to come. You need to be prepared because the new world order will be here. And it will come with full force. Prepare yourself, store up food into your home, education materials, so you can utilize the time in edifying your children. If you must use the internet, use the internet for which it's designed for, to do research. I want to thank you very much for being on the program tonight, to that person who have called and to be a part of the program. I thank you very much. I want to say to you, Black Love stands. Black Love was created to stand against oppression, slavery, racism, bigotry, and every form of oppression. Support the Black Love brand on the Dr. Matthews-Bey show that I have. You can call the number to support, or you can give your contributions. You can call the number to give your contributions so this program can be strengthened from time to time. I want to say to you, stay safe, be careful, sanitize yourself, wear a mask. Don't forget the little ones you take into public places. This is Dr. Matthews-Bey saying good night and cheerios for now.